Neat, huh?
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I summoned Peter and Quentin to Quentin's basement, also known as the Maelstrom Radio Tea Lounge / War Room.
Yeah.
So that we can discuss Endwalker stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, welcome.
Hi, everyone.
I love how there's beer
Hello.
and tea in the war room.
Well, I mean, that's true, because that's literally what we have IRL.
Typically,
Yeah.
well, no, I have a shake tonight and some water. The beer and tea will come later.
Yeah.
I have coffee. I have sparkling water.
We have sandwiches. We have soda.
There's no sandwiches here.
So,
I think they're upstairs in your house. I think I have the sandwich basket up there.
We get a little. Oh no, it's a cup of tea. I thought it was a bowl of soup for a moment.
No.
Good soup.
Good soup.
Oh boy! Yeah!
Well then.
You never know what's going to come out of that soundboard. Like, Peter doesn't use it very often, and I feel like he doesn't like recycle a lot of things. There's always like a new weird clip in the mix.
Oh no, he recycles quite a bit.
I mean, if you've been here long enough.
I have been here, one might say, too long.
Too long. So anyways, before we get too derailed.
We have some news today, don't we?
Well, what's everyone been up to this week?
Well, first of all, welcome to Maelstrom Radio. My name is Peter. With me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Quentin.
This is our first time doing a podcast.
Only 5 minutes late.
Oh, my God. Quentin's here. Hello. Also with us is our lovely producer and supposed to be wrangler of cats, Susan Sprinkles here.
Hi.
So, welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about just heads up before we we'll let you know when the spoilers start.
Yeah, we'll give
they've already started. Like, if you're here now, you know what you're getting into. We're gonna get into all the spoilers. We're not gonna tiptoe on anything.
I'm gonna give a big spoiler
warning for the people listening to this, not on Twitch.
Put in the show notes like the last bunch of episodes. This episode contains no Endwalker spoilers. I've been very nice.
I know, but some people don't read show notes. So.
Well, then that's their problem. Then read things.
All right. Jeez. Read things. Maelstrom Radio tells you to read things.
I'm disappointed that that's on the soundboard.
Why?
Chili says this episode may contain small bones.
Small bone? I mean, would you have preferred Kabuki?
You got crickets?
No, I have.
Anyways, what have you been up to this week, Susan?
Well, the three of us have been checking out Lost Ark stuff.
Yeah,
we've been a little. Yeah, we like dipped a little pinky toe into it. Like all three of us have characters established on the. Well, no, Peter has a character established. It's not the one he wants to play. It's not the character that he made. But if anyone's interested, we're on the Regulus server on NA East.
It's currently closed for characters.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can make a character on there right now, but maybe someday you can. We don't have a guild or anything set up yet. We might. I don't know. We're not taking it too serious just yet.
Carter Pants, it's not Final Fantasy Diablo. It's Guild Wars 2 Diablo.
Yeah. And
we will have more thoughts on this, but not during our Endwalker episode, I believe.
No. Not today.
Yeah, and really, we don't know enough about it yet to really say too much. Like, I went through the prologue and walked around a little bit in the first city and looked for treasures. Treasures.
Damn seeds.
Chili did a secret dungeon today.
Oh, secret dungeon. Secret dungeon.
Chili is also on the Regulus server, so we got a little crew there.
Small crew. Big dreams, small crew.
Team God.
What else have you guys been up to?
We had our return of our D&D game this week where we entered a giant tower.
Yeah.
And then we proceeded to kill ourselves, literally and metaphorically.
So are you guys starting like a new storyline in your D&D game?
No, so this is a continuation of our previous campaign. We just took a break when Endwalker released, and now we're finally back together. So we're
you're on a little break while
continuing the
Chili and
story.
Paul travel to London.
Yeah.
Well, now we're on a break again. We came back on last week in order to start off to kick off the story effectively again. So we will meet again in a couple more weeks and continue the story, but we'll just kind of get back in. And yeah, we had some time fighting ourselves.
Yeah.
And some puzzles. So
yes,
it was a lot of fun.
I'm really happy with the choice we made.
All of our dice suck.
That's also true. So just to give a little context, when we got into the tower, we had a choice between a door that we'd have to use our minds,
Brain, the brawn,
and a mixture, brain brawn
or
brawn, brain.
Yeah, you can't do it. I was thinking of it.
Yeah. Brain.
See?
Yep. No, it doesn't work. I was thinking the same thing, and nope.
Bruno.
Bran.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Oh.
We have Jorge though.
Hola.
He does the spackle.
So in addition to D&D, you guys also played Terraria yesterday.
We did.
It's funny that you guys have been like Terrariaing for quite a while, and like I feel like just now you're like getting your stride.
Well, we're almost done.
That seems about right.
We're almost at the end.
We're in the final stretch. We have a couple more
I feel
bosses.
like you're enjoying it more now than you did in the beginning, which is cool.
I think
it's cool that you're
takes
having
a
fun
while
with it.
to get into that sort of thing. At least for me, like I don't really like Minecraft or like those types of games. I tend to get bored of them really quickly. But now that we kind of have goals and we have like a progression laid out, like it's a lot more interesting for me.
Yeah. Terraria, as always to me, was never a Minecraft game. It was it started off as one, but then they also were like, we're also fans of Metroid. So they're like, how do we get like a lot of bosses in our game? And that was a smart choice on their part, honestly. So.
And then Monday you streamed Hades, right, Peter?
Yeah.
And also you did a reaction video for the Lost Ark director's trailer.
I sure
popping
did.
off on our YouTube.
It is popping off on our YouTube. Something.
You just never know what's gonna hit there.
Yeah, it's over like 3K views or something like that. Like, and yeah, it's done like 50K impressions, and it's doing pretty good. It's a good solid video. So.
I mean, it's a good trailer. Like, it really like hypes you up for the game. Like, it made me more interested in it. I'm like, there's ghost cows and clowns and weird, cute things.
You had everything.
Sexy ladies. It's got everything.
Horror Island really got me, honestly. So,
and then it's completely blind. I have no idea what's going on.
That trailer, let me tell you, that trailer is. You could still watch that trailer and still go into this completely blind.
Yeah, because like. Like I just realized today that there's a children's card game in the game, which I don't know how it works or how to get the cards or how it happens, but
well then,
Harder fans in chat.
Yeah,
we see your comment.
I do see your comment. That's a.
We will not be repeating it on the podcast, but
if you're a fan of Anchorman. you'll know what island he's referring to. Anyway.
Oh yes. I got the reference. We just don't want to get kicked off of Apple.
Is Apple just all right? Well, fair. It's Apple.
Meanwhile,
I don't think we list our podcast as explicit.
I do.
Susan does.
Anchor, I mark it as explicit because especially when I'm on the show, I wind up dropping F-bombs most of the time and not even realizing it. I apologize.
That's not explicit.
Oh,
it's explicit. I mean, either is the word. Well, anyway, news.
Important news.
Yeah. Well.
It is important news. We watched the Nintendo Direct on Wednesday.
Yeah. And we learned about Vorby.
Yeah.
Mouthful mode.
Mouthful mode. That is the highlight of that entire Nintendo
It really was the highlight of the whole thing for me because like Quentin and I kind of were doing like a reaction feed within our Discord when it was happening, and like we were just like,
hop in
"Oh,
that
that's all
Discord.
right. This seems cool. I don't know this reference." And then Kirby came up. We're like, "Oh my god, it's Kirby!"
And then he started eating everything, and it was like, "Ooh, no, Kirby, stop!"
Remember,
He's hungry.
Remember the last time they showed the trailer, and someone on Twitter was like, "What would be Kirby's power if he ate you?" And then now, I swear Nintendo saw that. It was like, "What if we just made him eat anything?"
Let's make a game.
Yeah, let's just turn that into a real thing. So, and if you're on Twitter, people have been turning Kirby into all sorts of things, and not all things are safe.
I've seen some things in some NSFW channels that are unsettling.
My favorite is the Kirby VLC media player, which is just
I was going to say that. I think that's my favorite too.
I mean, there's some notable things. There's a new triangle strategy demo that's going to come out that lets you play all the way to chapter 3. So there's probably 3,000 chapters.
That game looks cool because it looks very Octopath Traveler-ish, but it looks too involved for me. Like I can't. There's too much.
It's a strategy. It's a strategy.
We got Earthbound 1 and 3
tactic. Not 1 and 3. No, 1 in like 2-ish.
Is it? I thought they released 3.
No, that mother. No, because Reggie Fils-Aimé still, even though it doesn't work there, will never ever let that happen. Ever, ever. I got excited because I was like, "Oh, are they finally doing it?" I thought maybe they would do like a big package of all 3 of them and be like, "All right, here you go. Here's all of it. We localized Mother 3. It's all here." And like that, not to get into a big thing about emulators, but that one of the biggest games that was emulated is Mother 3 because people never got it here in the States. So, but for Chile, over in the UK, they're getting Earthbound 1 and 2. So congrats for getting
Chrono Cross.
And Chrono Cross. Yeah, you're getting both. You get BOFA. So congratulations. Wait, it's a real game?
Apparently so.
Yeah, it's a real game. Frog and Car. So just heads up on that.
Really thought Mother 3 was a meme.
No, it's real. It is. It exists. It truly exists. It truly exists. It is a real thing. Always good to hear that the UK is being brought up to the first world standards.
Living in the US, that is not the insult you think it might be.
It's not. It's not.
Healthcare.
All right. So, also
exactly.
Also news. Just to pull up. It says me, but really us. Maelstrom Radio is now part of a creator program. And which one you might ask? Lost Arks. We're a part of Lost Arks creator program.
But with an asterisk.
Welcome to the Final Fantasy 14 podcast. Part of the
yeah.
Hey, if Mione can do it, we can do it. So,
but we signed up a little too late to get in on the first round of drop codes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
we're not in the drops this time, but there's future stuff. Keep an eye out.
Hopefully, we'll be able to get it in on whenever the next round of goodies is.
Yeah, we
because
applied.
We like free things.
And then we
like giving people free things.
We do like giving people free things. So thanks. So hopefully the next round. It was just like a bad timing thing. It's like I applied, but then I was like, I don't think I'll get it.
Speaking of free things, if you are in our Twitch channel and you're joining us live, we have now 4 follower emotes.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is follow the channel. You don't have to be subscribed or anything. We have 4 emotes that you can use, and they're all cute.
Yeah, they all are cute.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well.
But then if you subscribe to the channel, you get even more emotes, and they're even cuter. Because then you get access to Mortimer. And
you get Mortimer, yeah.
You get Mortimer.
I'm biased. He's my favorite.
Yeah. You also get Unfunny Psyduck. Get Frog Check.
Frog Check is important.
You get a wizard hat, so you can get in touch with your wizard.
Yeah.
Little known fact: the wizard that we get in touch with lives in the hat. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah,
We just learned.
I'll have to update the Maelstrom Radio Wikipedia that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
just for
he shrinks down real small and then goes. There's an apartment.
I want to point out that there is we do have this lovely, beautiful studio that Susan built for us down in my basement.
Yes.
And if you ever visit it in person, you will notice there are a lot of different little Easter eggs, which we're not going to show on camera because they're Easter eggs for people that are not out here.
Yeah.
But if you ever do get a chance to come and visit, you will find that there are references to various Maelstrom radio things, including hidden frog checks.
There are, yes. So,
and our Lord and Savior Hildebrand. But
yes, everything's So, if you can find them all, you will.
I mean, there's not that many.
No, you will unlock the secrets.
If you can find them all, my house is this small.
I didn't put too much time into decorating this, so I did the best I could. I found all the Maelstrom themed items, and I think it looks nice.
It's really well done.
Our Lord and Savior Merlwib in the background.
Yeah.
No. She's just
blessing us with her bountiful bosoms.
So,
Speaking of,
thank my captain.
Boobage.
Boobage. Oh boy. Oh.
So are we ready then?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get into
it. Right now, at this second, if you've not finished Endwalker, you can stop listening.
Or if you do not want to be spoiled for Endwalker,
stop listening.
This is your chance.
But then finish Endwalker and come back and listen to this. That's what I suggest.
Yeah, the good thing is we're recording it, so you can listen to it whenever you want.
So
that's true.
As soon as you hear Final Fantasy, that's it. We're gonna start talking about Final Fantasy. So 3.
We are a Final Fantasy 14 podcast.
2.
Final Fantasy.
1. All right, let's go.
Finally, that fucker's dead.
Yeah.
Yes, thank God.
Sorry, I need to just start with that.
And
Xenos is gone.
He better be dead. He better be really dead because
his corpse is in the middle of space on the other side of the known universe. He is dead.
People that die but don't die.
Technically, isn't he? Like where we left him was technically not the universe, right? It was a void at some sort. Like it was just.
Yeah, kind of.
Like non-existent space. Like
some kind
of. But it was at the other side of the universe.
Pocket.
Yeah, he's like in a little weird void pocket on the other side. I mean, he's not coming back. Wherever he is, he's staying there. Unless he's gonna.
He's gone.
Potential show title. Void Pocket.
Unless he's gonna sup on void juice and then be and just show break through another door and be like, guess what?
He did that when he started Endwalker. He sipped the void juice and became a Reaper.
That's true.
Yeah, that is true. So we're not going to go beat by beat and recap the whole story because I think everyone's done that on their podcast already. But we just want to go over stuff that we liked, stuff that impacted us, stuff that was funny.
Protopet says, "I'll take him as a mount." I mean, you already did during the final fight.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think you're going to get it in game though.
And that part really was
that was weird.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
What the
no
fight?
No perma-mount. I mean, you can go to that instance and stay there for the 2-hour time limit that there is, but that's it.
Yeah.
It did kind of feel forced. It's like Xenos has been this character that has plagued us for multiple expansions. Mm-hmm. And I say plagued not in the way of he's just been around all the time. It's just, no, he's been an annoyance. We killed him. And then he just keeps coming back. And he doesn't seem to really add anything to the whole thing.
It's just odd that everyone's hanging out in old Charlane and he just throws up hey guys,
all of Endwalker is always hey, come fight me. And you're like, nope.
Asks.
I didn't feel that. See, I felt like when that fight started, the whole point was that conversation. Now I'm curious of what you two picked because he does ask a question in there. He's like, isn't that right? You and I do this dance because you're the same like me. You like adventure, right? Like that. And I answered, yeah, that's me. That's true. That's why I play these games, right? I want an adventure. I don't do this, I mean, making friends along the way is great, but yeah, I'm an adventurer. I can't wait for the next story and adventure that we go on. So I know some people did not pick that. Like, I knew some people were just like, no, you suck. Like, I was like, I want to know what you two picked. Because I picked, I technically we are cut from the same, like, we may be different in forms of good versus evil. Like, he's an asshole. But
yeah, there's been a lot of like conversation on Twitter and Reddit about the meta thing about that Xenos is actually a reflection of the player character, and there's a lot of like philosophical thoughts.
But he is. He technically is.
No.
Like, yes, I mean, yes, he is. He is a reflect. But we fought reflections this week, so yes, he is. Like, a reflection doesn't mean it has to be what we think it is. Like, he's a jerk, and what he is not great. But
no, I mean that he's not a reflection of the character, or like he's not a reflection of the player because he doesn't have substance.
Well,
I mean, depends. Like, it depends on, like, do we we silently nod.
Yep. But that's more so that
no, people are saying that Xenos' character is a reflection of like us, like the player at home playing the game. Yeah.
Which is probably more true.
I still don't see it either.
So, like, his whole concept of like wanting something more, right? Something more than like because he didn't care about the war, didn't care about Garlemald, he didn't care about his people, like he didn't care about any of that. All he wanted was like,
yeah, and I don't know his full backstory. I know there was like some side story or whatever about him where like it shows how much trauma he had, and basically like the only way he feels is through combat, which is sad.
Which
I don't even think there was trauma involved. That was just like,
I mean, when we were able to break down his family tree, I'm sure there's some trauma there.
I mean, the family tree starts with Ascians, so never goes good.
Oh, speaking of family trees, to bring it back to bring it over to something completely different, the fact that in this expansion we finally saw like family members that were nice and loving and caring
we saw too many of those.
It was nice. It was very sweet. Like, one of my favorite parts was the part with Urianger and the chat that he had with Boom Breeda's parents, and that was one of the times that I truly cried, and I thought it was so sweet. And the fact that people actually hugged, finally.
Yeah.
Like, no one hugs in this game.
I hate that cutscene so much because it actually made me like Urianger.
Again,
his parents are just so sweet. I enjoyed that so much.
I think regardless of how you feel about Xenos, or even like, but I like, and this relates to Urianger. I don't think I'm going back to Xenos. It's just they did like I think all of us can agree they did something. I think a lot of people didn't expect is that they wrote these characters in such a way that in the end, even if you didn't like Urianger and what he did in the past.
They gave people dimensions.
They gave them so many dimensions, and it built upon how he acted in the past, right? Like why he was so good at being like coming off like a dick, right? Like, I mean, like, you know, and then like you find out, I mean, and you find out like Moonbreeda was like, you know, he was just quiet and liked his books better than people, and he had
he was just kind of like a socially awkward
person, yeah. And that which made him kind of good to do stuff that he did.
I'll agree with all of the other characters, but I still disagree with Xenos. I don't think this added any depth to his character.
I don't think it added depth. No, I don't
think this added the expansion added anything to his character. His character should have died 2 expansions ago, and he should not have been included. And we wouldn't have lost a single thing. The story would be no weaker for it.
No,
if we didn't have Xenos in this expansion, we wouldn't have been able to do what I thought was the best and worst and most stressful quest.
That's true.
Oh no, we could have definitely still done that quest. It just wouldn't have been Xenos that kicked it off.
Yeah, but then it's still
right? We just have Asai working. Asai. Fandaniel could have been doing it by himself, or Fandaniel could have been working with someone else in Garlemald.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. But even if it was somebody else in Garlemald, it wouldn't have had the same impact as Xenos did, right? Like the act of Xenos
probably could have had more because Xenos had no impact to me.
I don't think that's true. I think
I just wanted him off the screen.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people did. I think the fact that he's the one walking up made that impact even more impact. Like I think that made people feel like F this guy. Like this guy sucked.
Quentin
Like,
Carter Pants agrees with you. Xenos could
Yeah,
have
I
been
see
completely
Carter Pants
missing from
agrees,
this,
it's
and
like-
I wouldn't have noticed.
I don't
yeah.
think that's the case. I do agree that like Xenos was like like a mirror version of us as players of the game versus and not necessarily like us as people, but us. I'm thinking as MMO players as a whole, right? Like when you say it as a whole, not like individually, like, oh, I don't agree with how
Well, I understand what you're saying. I still disagree.
I know, but think about it, like MMO players request and want so much, and like they like, and I can see why if they were doing that on purpose, like in the end, then so to me that makes sense. So Xenos
Just want to
MacGuffin.
acknowledge some previous chat. Chili mentioned the sandwich quest. Did you guys do the sandwich quest in Old Charlayan?
Sandwich quest.
Oh,
I must have.
We talked to
It starts with Dickon over in the
yeah.
the
Is that the one where you
Sharbrooks.
meet the other parents?
Yeah, this is
Parent singular.
It's parent.
Well, yeah.
Papa's papa.
Yeah.
We don't have to skirt around it. You can say that it was Papa Lemo's father.
Yeah.
That was so sweet.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
Also, the twins'
side
mother
note, Peter, can
being
you
nice.
move your mouse?
I did.
No, like you're in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, please.
Oh,
Come on.
sorry.
Make it look good. Thank you. No, I can still see it.
It's still
Come
on
on,
the there
man.
you go.
What are you doing? Just get it away. You're not gonna log out in like 4 minutes. Just leave it there. Thank you.
No, Chili, that is not Mommy. That is the twins' mother. Mommy was the fight at the level
I was saying,
87
there's a couple
trial.
mommies.
Oh, boy.
We met Alphino and Alizé's mom, and she was a sweet lady. I liked her a
nice.
lot. The
I still think their father's kind of a dick, but
yeah,
he's got masculinity problems.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, I still understand why he did the things he did. Like,
because he has masculinity problems.
Well,
I still feel like he could have toned it down a little bit. Like, you didn't have to like publicly like shame your children in front of fucking world leaders.
Yeah,
like that's going pretty far.
Oh, that was pretty toxic.
Yeah, but Japanese RPGs. There's a father, and he's going to be a jerk until the very end, and then everybody's like, "Oh, Papa, I love you." So,
no, do you know what? There's a father in this game who is absolutely perfect, and it doesn't matter what the children do; he will always support them, and that is the example we should have had.
Are you talking
Which
about the one
father is
at the
that?
end? The one at the end of the dungeon, the Garlemald
Godbert.
dungeon? Oh.
Look at Godbert, regardless of what Hildebrand does.
So we should
It doesn't matter.
We should be getting
Wait,
a Hildebrand quest at some point in Endwalker, right?
That's yes. But hold on. Hildebrand's father, Godbert, beats the crap out of Hildebrand. Like he does something stupid. He chases him down and just like power bombs him into the ground.
Yeah. But it's a mutual thing. They both do it to each other.
They
both go for it.
Yeah, no, they both go for it, but one comes out top every time.
I mean, that's usually how it goes.
So I don't think that's a healthy relationship if you and your
can't
father
have two people coming out on top.
So
Hildebrand is a zombie, so yeah.
No.
All right, so to get back to Endwalker, so all three of us took off the week of early release. Well, no, I just want to say, like,
which we needed.
Yeah, we took off the whole week, but it still took, like, for me and my notes, it took me a week and a day to complete MSQ.
Yeah,
like Peter and I had some like IRL like stuff that we made, which we shouldn't have made any other plans. Like,
it took me 6 days, so it wasn't too.
And we also had our COVID boosters in there, so like I lost a day.
Yeah. It was just tough, especially because it's like, all right, well, I'll log in. You had like essentially instead of us sleeping in and logging in, it was like, all right, set an alarm for 6 to get on to make sure you're in the game, and then set reminders to like, I'm gonna go make dinner. So
I mean, I'm
you're
still
on
like
medical
glad that
duty.
we took off because I still wanted to be there for it all, even though it was
Mhm.
frustrating. And like by the time you got in, it was like late in the day, and
So it was a pain. It was like I don't want to like focus on the bad. Like I want to focus on.
I
Like,
mean, you
the
have to
story.
like any Endwalker
Yeah,
discussion has to
but we
mention the
did
fact
that
the
already.
queues-
Like we talked about that for a few episodes. Well, we don't have to focus that on here.
So-
Like that.
There was a question way back that Carter Pants asked in what was the most emotional moment for you in 6.0?
See, for me, I have written down in my notes all the times that I cried. But
So
for me,
what's your most?
for me, the most emotional one was Moonbreeda's parents. Like I literally was like sobbing. Like it was, I don't know, it hit me.
I think for me, I think what was I think one of the most emotional ones was the last zone and then losing like a 1 or 2 science every time and to get to the final one to summon not your friends but your other friends from Elpis and to realize that you know that they wrote these characters and like all the way up to that point, right? Like the music's playing and you're losing them and ultimately like I'm probably going to get them back, that and but to hear like, hey, don't summon us, and then you summon your other friend, like because they were your friends, like ultimately they were people you respected, even if they weren't like again, like I said, they really did well with the writing on redefining like what is a friend or a companion, or
I love our Elpis friends. I wanted to hang out there.
Yeah, we need more with them.
So
Yeah.
and that moment of you're a hero, but do you truly know what's going on in the world that you're from, or some of the places in other, like letting us know again that we don't know everything and that we are adventurers and we do yearn for what's coming next.
Yeah, and I
Right?
like that after all the epic moments, Emmett Selk immediately just puts us in our places. Like, have you even been to the other fucking side of the world, shithead? There's other stuff going on.
Yeah,
It's not just about you.
and I like I feel like that all like even though like no one agrees with me, I still think that connects with what Xenos was asking us at the end. Like like that all connects. Like all of it. I don't think it like would have made a difference in the main overarching parts of the story, but I think if you look at what Xenos was saying to us and then look at what Emmett Selk said to us, yes, those things connect, right? Like you yearn for this, yet you don't know what's going on. And it was truly the that moment where I was like, damn, it hit me, and it hit me really hard because it was like, all right, they're right. Like if they're taking us out for a second, right? Like not even just as the player character, but us as the player, then they're telling us like, yeah, you don't know what's going on, and you are so focused on these stories that yeah, there's more to this world than just what you know.
And I'm excited that there's going to be like brand new stories.
Yeah, and I agree. And the even up to the point with like Medion, right? And like hearing the idea of there's no point to anything, like and I maybe be speaking of like as someone who plays like has played a lot of MMOs and thinking about like how they wrote, if really was a take, and I'm talking like Yoshi P is a big MMO fan, right? And if he wrote this in such a way to say MMO players tend to ask maybe too much, right? And they don't take they don't take that time to take that step back to realize like how much work it takes and all that, and like think about like all the work he did to bring 2.0 together, and then from then straight onto this. Yes, he ended a main story arc, and some people see it like that. But if you look at like if you opening the scope a little bit, the whole Medion thing, the worlds of destruction, like destroying 1.0, how that could relate to everything, which it did. And then writing the Scions the way they did, it was super emotional. Like I couldn't like handle going into that fight, knowing what the hell. I was like, I'm done. Like we need to go just kill this, like not kill, but whatever needs to happen here next to end this, to see what happens next, right? Because
before we, sorry.
No, because ultimately, right? Because all of this, and this is going to sound weird, but all of this, right, was not Yoshi P's. I mean, it was. It's, he took it over, and ultimately he was guiding a story, but it was a story that he never really got to start.
I don't think any of this was part of his story.
Yeah, I don't think
I
was.
I don't think any of this was not his story, I should say.
Yeah. So
I think all of this was his story.
I think it was too, but I think that he would have started things differently, or because he wasn't involved in 1.0, right? But he had to tie all of those loose ends together. And yes, I think he facilitated moving things along to make the story. Yeah, see, Chili even says, but it was written in 1.0, and I think that's the part of the thing.
This part of the story was not written in 1.0. It probably wasn't even written by 3.0, honestly.
So, I mean, maybe. I mean, like,
but I feel like they did a great job of like tying things together where it seemed like, oh, they planned that all. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it seemed like it was
you can
all
definitely link it all back
because
look at it.
Because Crystal Tower was planned for 1.0, but it never got released because they ended the world. So there's a chance that it was written up to a certain point, like story-wise, because they probably did have a rough outline of like what the story was, and then Yoshi P just kind of weaved everything together. But I'm excited to see what he's going to next, right? Like everything after this, I'm going to assume is truly his. Like, not to say that this wasn't his. I want to see what he can do with a fresh slate. Like I finished this. This is truly mine. Like the starting point is mine, the ending point is mine. And I think whatever happens now from this point on, I don't think we're going to get 10 years worth of a storyline again. I think we're going to get smaller chunks of stories per expansion. But again, like I know the original question was like our most emotional thing. So yes, all of the last zone, losing all the Scions, walking up, Hythlodaeus and Emmett Salk, talking to them, and then walking into that last fight. It was truly emotional, just to know that, and then like just saving everybody, and then just me being there by myself. So
before we get into other stuff, Quentin, what is your?
I still have my answer.
Yeah, I want to hear your answer. What's the most emotional moment
so
for you?
I do have to say that I did have a lot of emotions as we kept losing the Scions, especially the very end when like Urianger was confiding in Graha, and then Graha knew what was kind of going on, made the decision to do it himself again, and then the twins doing it, and that really got me. And like that was probably I knew the whole time, like, yeah, they're gonna come back. They're gonna come back. Like, oh yeah, there's a few ways they could kind of make them come back. They put so many safeguards.
Yeah,
here.
it's like I saw Sailor Moon. I know how this goes. They all leave, but then they come back at the end.
Exactly. As soon as it happened, I'm like, okay, so we're gonna lose one per as we keep progressing along. All right, that makes sense. So I think that was still, like, even knowing that was happening, it was fairly emotional. That's not the part that was the most emotional, because I think what a lot of what you're also thinking of is like, what is kind of the sad moments, or what are the times that you were kind of impacted by this. And 1 second.
Cat aggro. Peter, you have to get like a cat meow sound on the soundboard at some point to note in times of cat aggro.
He's crawling in the areas he should not be. Anyways,
have a cat party
to ruin this lovely emotion. We'll see if he's about to do it again, and then I will. Yeah, he is. 1 second.
Play the cat party.
Cat party.
Please hold.
He's back?
Not
No?
yet.
All right.
No.
Cat party.
Yeah, no. Still no.
Okay, so Quinn,
Well, that
please
was
tell
the
us.
moment.
Please tell us about your favorite.
Oh, going back
emotional
to everyone
moment.
was thinking about like those really sad moments when everyone left and anything, and I think one of the most emotionally, or like the biggest emotional impact I had was after Elpis, when we were going through the cutscenes and it was
That
Hydaelyn
whole
and she
series
was
of
kind of going
cutscenes was
through.
so good.
Exactly, like that whole series, and like they had it, and we were learning all this stuff. Like everyone's memory gets wiped, but she still had her memory. She has to live with this for thousands and thousands of years, basically by herself, holding on, trying to survive, and doing all
like
this. And then they
enduring
played
every calamity that happens and getting like
watching
wearier
it
and
all,
wearier.
knowing that something will eventually come, but she can't do anything to mess up, prevent it before that point.
Mhm.
Like that's some heavy stuff that she has to deal with. But
Yeah.
all of that, and then like towards the end of that series of cutscenes, and they have the like Endwalker version of Answers playing as she's kind of going through all of this, and you're kind of listening to the lyrics again. Because like we were talking about before, I don't think that any of this was written well beforehand. So like this is all well after Answers. But it,
Yeah,
it's
and
it was
now
really
everyone,
interesting
like-
to see how close it was to like the story that we're hitting.
And everyone like now reads Answers like in a different way, where it's like, do they
Right.
mean the answers to Hermes' question? Like,
Well, so it's really interesting, and I was, as one does, singing Answers to myself in the shower one day, and like
everyone
just
get that visual going.
but like going through and like actually thinking about the words and going through it, it does a very good job of basically telling the exact story of Endwalker. Like the actual whole
does.
song
Whether that was like
every
planned
single
or
lyric,
not,
like-
or they, yeah.
but I don't think it was planned such that like the game like I don't think the song was built for the game kind of thing. But what I think they did is they took the song Answers and they knew that this was kind of their beginning for everything, and then I think they took that and structured Endwalker around the song.
I can see that, but I also, I mean, part of me also thinks that Answers was written, at the end of 1.0, where
Right, like it was written in terms of like the 1.0 and the ending of the world and all of this. I don't think all of this was planned beforehand, but if you actually look through the lyrics of Answers, like it actually just describes Endwalker. It spoils the whole
again, like
expansion.
Chili says, if there was a rough outline, I mean, there
I
could
don't
have,
think so.
it could have, but we know there was, like, Yoshi P did admit that they had the story well written for all of this, like
I don't think that like there was,
because there
was way too much in Endwalker that had absolutely no reference prior to Endwalker for it to actually have been planned.
Well, no,
There's a lot of things they could have planted well before Shadowbringers.
Oh, I'm sure they
and
did.
There was nothing.
I'm sure, but 1.0 is cancer. I'm using the CD box to prop my second keyboard. I'm sure who we can answer that question is Moose, and we'll find
Yes,
out.
I think this would be a good conversation to have with them.
Like,
Yeah, so luckily,
yeah,
both Moose and Sarah are going to
Yeah.
be on the podcast next week to further talk about Endwalker stuff.
Yep.
We figured we couldn't get it
So-
all in one episode, so we're doing a 2-part Endwalker extravaganza.
yeah.
I think the interesting part of this, now that we know more of the story, is that I believe the perspective of this is coming from Hydaelyn as one of the ancients.
Violence.
well,
But before we go down this rabbit hole, maybe you save this conversation for Moose and Sarah and
Like we were on the moon.
I mean,
Our souls have been torn and our bodies forsaken, bearing sins of the past for our future is taken. They were stuck on the moon because they couldn't. Their bodies were gone.
Yeah,
torn in asunder. The souls have been torn. They were split into many pieces.
Yeah,
bearing sins of the past. They fucked up, and their future is taken. We're not putting them all back together.
No,
part of strife. These trials persuade us not. We were doing this as a trial.
So I agree with you.
This whole thing is a trial.
It's the same like, and I mean, if you're like a weird like music audiophile, like if you listen to Answers, there's layered bits of Answers, or like some of the notes and like like instrument use and how it's played is also used into I apologize, I don't know, but it's the song that plays in like part like 2 phase 2 of Midion's fight.
Oh yeah, they always mix in different songs into it. Like it's one of the thematic songs of the
just
game.
Like weaving all different
but
songs.
I think that's really important though, because you said Answer is a very sad song, right? Like ultimately it's a very, very sad song, where all of a sudden, like if that song goes into that other song, like using the same structure of music into that song, instantly it's like, okay, like, you know, this long path in the sad song goes into now a song of hope, which ultimately, I mean, fighting Medion, ending the essentially not, you know, eventually the worlds will end, right? Like we all know that, like we're all waiting the event, you know, inevitable heat death of the universe. So to end with a song of hope, to go from Answers to that is great. I think that's great. It's the overarching like melody in your zones. Thanks, video science. You know, and it's just a smart use of music. I mean, we even like we could do a whole episode on just like the music of Endwalker. Like it was a big. It was such well thought out, like
even
everywhere.
from like going to like character to character, like a song will change to like denote you know, like some deeper meaning or whatever.
Oh, and during the end of days, or the apocalypse weather, as you know, I like to see it as, I mean, people changing, like people getting overly emotional and changing into monsters was dark. Like I was like,
there was
all right,
lots of darkness in this, like in this expansion. Like even though none of the like main characters died, there was so much death. So much death.
What you mean? I mean, to a point where we've almost been desensitized to it, because you go into the what was it, the 85 dungeon there, Venice Body, and like you're running halfway through the dungeon, and suddenly this whole family, like parents, children, all of them suddenly just like do the same thing we had at the beginning of Endwalker, where they all just suddenly turn into these monstrous creatures.
Yeah, like the
we have
mom
to
changes,
immediately
and then the
kill.
kids watch the mom change, and then the
and
kids
then
change too, and then we
Right.
have to kill them all.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was just like, yeah, well, I guess this is happening. And then I went and killed them. Like it wasn't like when we had Shadowbringers, and we started off at the beginning there, and what's her name went like Full Metal Alchemist and just like completely freaked out, like Majora's Mask transformation style.
No, they went hard this time. They went real, like they I think with Shadowbringers, they did that one scene so we knew like the levity of the situation, like, oh, the light's bad. Like here it was truly like, hey, how do we ramp, like, because right now, you know, they were saying like, oh, we're surviving, it's not the end of days, because you know, they stopped the spread of light, at least like the small chunk of land we have is what we have. Meh. Here it was like, no, this is the end of days. People are freaking out. They're changing into the grotesque visions of monsters. And then like no, even the worst one was like when the monster, that giant monster turned, and then like the little kid turned, and the other monster stepped on the meatball kid.
Yeah, I have in my notes meatball smash.
Yeah, meatball smash.
Yeah.
And also Chili's right. There's also Garlemald. We got to Garlemald. And yeah, okay. First of all, Metal Gear Thancred was probably my favorite moment in the game. Like it was so
This
good.
is Thancred.
I loved Metal Gear Thancred. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
It was a
like,
neat idea, but it was so annoying.
Oh, if not for me, I loved it because I went through it one time and I wanted to do it again because that was a blast. Like if that could just be a thing, I would do it every time. If that loved it. More Metal Gear. Like please add more of that. I need more of that. Like
I'd be okay without it.
I need more. Like even if it was like a mini game someplace, like sneak something, or that would be great.
Well, I would rather do that than more follow quests.
Oh please, yeah, no. Metal Gear Thancred.
There's too many follow quests.
I would do more follow quests if we never had to do that slow mo crawl thing again.
I mean,
nope. Mm-mm.
I love
that whole series.
It's when you're in the meat suit.
Yeah, the meat suit one.
Which also great. So like I know people hated it, but also great.
Yeah, like that.
Because I told you where to find the things at the beginning.
Like that was the most stressful quest for me. Like it was upsetting. Like you had a time restraint. You had like no abilities. Like you were just like a helpless.
If you aggroed something, you had to restart the whole thing again.
But
I am just surprised that I got through that in one go. Like if I had to do that multiple times, I would have had to like quit the game for the day. Like
Chili was stuck on it for 2 hours.
Oh my god.
I think, but the idea though, right? Like the idea was that to show us how powerful we were, right? Because we had the blessing of light compared to.
There's ways you can do that without having to like.
No.
Annoy the
I mean
player.
that duty was supposed to stress you out. And,
it
like,
was supposed to stress you out. Yeah.
I mean, it definitely did what it intended to do.
It really
I just
did.
like kind of lucked out and found the right ways to go because I was just
like because Yoshi P even said in an
panicked.
interview about that specific scene, like the idea behind it was that, right, was to make us feel like it was impossible. And it did. Like I know there was annoying bits of it, like gameplay wise aside, like the story wise of it, yes, like it nailed what it was supposed to do. Gameplay wise, it could have been it could have been tighter.
That you had to like take a detour from like getting to where you needed to go because you had to stop and like help other Garlean people. It was just
because you were still because you were still you. And I thought again, like, and I think that's still amazing, right? Like regardless, it's like, if I were me, if you were me and I were you, I'd still use your body to get to the top. That sort of like from Basement Tour 2, that's just me on that one. Okay. It's still the same thing, right? Like regardless if I'm the warrior of light or not, I'm still going to try to do my best to save people. It didn't pan out great, but I still made it to my friends at times. So barely, but I made it there.
You made it to your friends, but you didn't make it to the girl who decided that she would rather go and die than get help by you, or the injured person who also died because she didn't want to get help by you.
I mean, that could be like a 3-hour conversation about like war and like.
Okay, so before we go into a 3-hour conversation about war and more depressing shit, like we're getting close to end of showtime, so let's go around and talk about like what our favorite like lighthearted, fun, funny, silly moments were. Like what stands out.
I don't think that we can get I don't think we can have a discussion about lightheartedness if we don't talk about Pudding Way.
I was about to say Pudding Way.
Like Pudding Way was one of the highlights of like lighthearted stupidity. The Loperids, kind of annoying. Their quest line went on a little bit longer.
I feel like they went on a little too long. It's like, okay, guys, you're cool, but we need to go back. Like shit's going down. Like I need to go home. Like that's great that you want to show me everything here, but I need to get at like.
And honestly, I don't think Pudding Way in the MSQ was necessarily the best thing. He did have some really good points towards the end when he appears in Garlemald.
Carter Pants said Ewoks of Final Fantasy 14.
They are the Ewoks of Final Fantasy. Like they weren't necessarily the smartest creatures. Like and like Pudding Way didn't really do a whole lot while he was on the moon. He was a little bit funny, was in Garlemald, but when he ended up after the MSQ, he ended up in Charlotte and has a side quest to do. That's great.
Yeah.
What else? Do we have any other lighthearted? I have a few on my thing.
Can you keep going?
I mean, I have drinking with Thancred, Urianger,
Urianger and
Y'shtola, because it took a second to remind me, like, even before the twins, right? Like, those were the three essentially you spent the most. Like, I know the twins were the original Scions, right? And they were kind of like Y'shtola, guided you through the beginning stages of the first, like, 2.0. Like, Y'shtola was your partner. It wasn't really,
No, Y'shtola was only your partner if you started in Limsa.
And I did.
Right. For those of us who didn't, we had Ida and Paplamo.
Well,
for
that's unfortunate.
Ul'dah, and we had
for...
No, we didn't have.
Was it Thancred?
Yeah, I started in Ul'dah, so
was
Ul'dah would have,
or is it Urianger?
Was Ida and Paplamo, and then Gridania was. Shoot, this is mine. Who was Gridania?
Nobody cares. It's Gridania. Nobody cares. Thancred was Ul'dah.
Thancred was Ul'dah. Yeah. Okay, so, then Paplamo and
Okay, right. So I had Thancred then.
Yeah,
that's right. Because you think he's like dreamy and mysterious at first. You don't know what to make of him, and then you realize...
he opens his mouth. Especially back in 2.0.
Let's see. I'm checking over my notes to see what other lighthearted moments I enjoyed. I have Shaggles.
I don't.
Oh,
Shaggles is a side quest, but Shaggles is the best.
Shaggles is the best.
And I still need to keep doing that one dungeon to get the Shaggles minion, because it's an untradeable, unsellable minion.
Well, if that's the case, they should just give it to everybody. I mean,
I think another really cute moment was after everything was done, like we sorted out all the beginning stuff, and then we just sat down for a night where we had dinner, and everyone was kind of lighthearted, laughing. We had the burger scene, which is the best scene ever. Like, it kind of brings you back to remind you that, like, these are real people as well. Like, they're not just these mythical figures that are like the Scions saving the world all the time.
We learned that Alize doesn't like pickles.
Alize doesn't like pickles, and like,
but she likes sweets, and she'll steal them. So.
It was just, I thought that was a very lighthearted, cute scene, and that was one of my favorites for just kind of relaxing.
There was a lot of like tender moments with food throughout.
Yeah,
because there was like the part before shit goes down where you're in Garlemald and everyone's having soup and being cozy.
Mm-hmm. The soup.
Yeah.
There was the part in Thavnair when
Chilean chat food walker.
Food walker. There's the part in Thavnair where there's like a little moment of peace where everyone's having chai.
Oh my god, that what a great moment!
I had to get up and go make some chai tea, chai after that. I need this.
Before I forget, another great light-hearted moment was when we did the non-attuned travel to Thavnair, and we all showed up. We're like, oh.
This is why Stinian is not allowed to trade.
We learned Stinian is not good with money.
Hair tie.
Stinian and Alphino, they are like two peas in a pod.
Oh my god. He's not good with money. He's like, I don't like lavish things. This seems fine.
So stupid. Not related to anything, but a very important thing. We finally got to see Kryle's hair. Her beautiful hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Why is she wearing that hood all the time? She needs to let that hair out. And why don't we have that as a hairstyle?
Great question.
It'll come on the Mog station at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure. They're selling that. Oh, Chile! I missed that. I thought they meant Chile was like they're selling that hair now in Japan, but it's soup. They're selling that soup. Good soup. I'm trying to think what other like lighthearted moments we had.
Oh, we had a moment of like a secret shout out to Maelstrom Radio because we had Frog Check Quest.
Oh yeah, we did have a frog.
We did have the Frog Check quest.
Truly did have a Frog Check quest
with Alpha Toad and Alatoad.
Yeah, Alpha Toad and Alatoad.
And while we're on the subject
And the
of
Toad
the
of Light.
Frog Quest, like this is not necessarily like a happy moment or a chill moment, but we can't have a whole episode without talking about like one of my favorite characters in this whole expansion, Ehrenwald, or not Ehrenwald,
Aaronville.
Ehrenville, not Ehrenwald, Ehrenville.
He's dreamy.
He is.
He's
Yes.
the dreamiest bun.
Like
Like
one of the only Bun Boy characters,
I love his accent.
and he's so good.
He's so handsome. Yeah. The internet is hoping that he will be our new custom delivery person and that we'll
I'd
be able to
love
dress him
that.
up someday.
Just
And
no
I'm
hat.
excited about- Yeah.
No.
Sorry, Mail Beer.
Just gonna put him in a bunny outfit without the hat. So.
Oh no, bunnies! Like I can wear bunny ears. I think I can wear fox ears.
Huh.
Yeah, it's very very confusing what they allow and what they don't.
Another.
Oh.
What?
Did have we didn't oh man. It's like we need more time, but like
I mean, we can.
I don't want this to be like a 4-hour episode.
No, I mean we can go.
but-
We can go another 15-20 minutes. Like we
Yeah,
started a
we got
little.
time.
I
we
mean,
got
can
time.
we just all talk, like, if we're going dreamy husbandos, can we all talk about Hythlodaeus and just how amazing and wonderful and beautiful he is, and just how I just want him to hang out with us forever and be our best friend?
Wait, I actually had something for this. Let me see if I can go and find it because I was chatting with a friend about this a long time ago.
Hey, chat. This is the moment where I'm just like, they're nice.
You didn't like him?
No, I liked them as a person.
Not until now.
As a
Oh,
person,
yeah,
not
I
as
have
a
to-
love interest.
Okay, so if you take the Elpis crew, right?
Yes.
So this is how I would categorize them. And that is the ship poster and general troublemaker of the group.
Yeah,
Uh,
That
I
tracks.
adored her. Yeah,
Her Hermes is a good boy, but also emo as fuck.
Yeah.
No.
Emmett Selk is the smug fuck. And Hythlodaeus is just the enabler.
yeah. Well, I mean, Emmett Selk's
of that
the
is wrong.
jock,
That-
and
I forget if I know the answer to this, but did both of you guys choose the trust when you got to the dungeon
Yes.
in Elpis?
yeah.
Like how could you
100%.
not? Yeah, like how could you not?
Susan.
Ah, yeah. There's so much good Hythlodaeus fan art.
Oh yeah, I saw this as I was scrolling up through my chat. I'm like, we were sending this to people.
It's good. Chili, you did not. You might need to go run that.
They were
They're-
good.
That
They're so
one,
good. Like
that one specifically has a lot.
From
of
that
lore.
point, I did trust for the rest of the entire expansion.
well, yeah, because between that trust and then the trust that you can do for the trial, like how
The
could you say
trial
no to
trust.
that?
You had to do that. Yeah.
Oh, that one was great because they.
Quinn and
like,
I are both dropping Hythlodaeus like cute
jeez.
fan art in the,
Sweet
in
mercy.
the chat.
All right.
I mean, look at that
well-
picture with him and the sharks. It's so
Well,
cute.
welcome to the Hythlodaeus Thirsty podcast, where
I mean, it's not even thirst. He's just so adorable.
it's not even. Oh,
He
what
is. He's
it?
adorable. This isn't like a thirst trap. These are cute.
Oh no, it's not a trap. You're in the pool.
Like I want to hang out with it. Like I want
There's no
to go
thirst.
to the Charlene Starbucks with him and get coffee and chat.
I would definitely do that.
Susan's already planning her coffee date with this. Well, it's been real, guys.
I don't thirst, so it can't be a thirst. Don't work.
You hunger?
Oh.
No.
We didn't acknowledge the other new character that.
My other favorite character?
Well,
hold
there's
on.
there's not thirst for this character as far as I know,
No.
but I haven't really investigated
No,
it.
but I love them. They're also adorable. And I didn't like them at first because I was very suspicious of them.
Pudding way?
But
I don't
then
know.
I understood it, and it was like, okay,
I don't know if we're talking about the same person then.
we're not talking about the same person.
Are you talking about the Scottish Lala?
Coco.
Okay, Coco's
no, I wasn't
great.
talking about Coco.
No,
Coco is the
Coco's
best.
great.
I hope we see more of Coco in the future. 'Cause he was
Col-
delightful. Like his voice actor was like going for it.
Oh no, Coco's great.
Like his voice actor was turned up to like 15.
Yeah. If my character could have been Coco for that week, it would have been more bearable as Lala, honestly. Like if I could have just played as Coco with like the voice acting and everything, I would have bared being a Lala. Like, it's great. Like Kolkul was fantastic.
Yeah, he was very cool.
Like
I liked him a lot.
like that dude wanted to see that ship explode. He's like, wait. So I love Kolkul.
Oh, and the Chili mentioned the Lala that was in charge of like immigration in Charlene.
Yeah, immigrant. Yeah,
Oh,
TSA.
the Karen.
Yeah, TSA
Yeah.
Lala. Take off your shoes. Put them in the basket.
Yeah, no, that's not who I was talking about.
Yeah, who are you talking about?
I was talking about Varshan,
Oh, yeah. Who
the dragon simulacrum.
wait.
Well,
in my notes, I have him as Dragon Eye Meat Puppet.
Yeah, he's a dragon meat puppet.
Yeah,
not really.
dragon meat puppet.
Still the same character as the
Well,
dragon.
we don't really know if he's a meat puppet. We just know that he's a puppet.
Well, he's a puppet, not a meat. Well,
Yeah, we're not sure if he's made of meat.
no, there is no, there is some meat in there. There's a little meat. Well, there's a round meat in there.
Round meat.
Well, yeah, because his eye is piloting the puppet.
Yeah,
Yes.
the eye is in the puppet.
Yeah, so there's some meat in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Eye meats.
And then Chili mentioned as a part of levity in the story, Buy My Fish.
Yeah, by my
When you first meet
and then come
not a
to
good
find out
salesperson.
that you can actually be good at that quest. We didn't know that. I thought it was just
All
like,
three of us like hard failed that quest in the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah,
As the
I-
waiter's like,
I
wait,
sold no fish.
Yeah, I sold no fish as well. And then I find it like Taliesin from Taliesin Nevitel. He was like, "Oh, look, I'm so good at selling fish." I'm like, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah.
apparently you do that. Wow, we suck.
He's like, and then Elephant's like, "Man, you're great at selling fish." I'm like, "I suck."
Yeah.
Oh, also, while we're on random NPCs, Tataru opening her own dress shop
Yeah.
where you get
Yeah.
all your 89 gear. Like, that's
Mhm.
perfect.
Yeah, because people were worried. It's like, oh man, we didn't get any cool stuff from Tataru. And then it's like, no, she gives you all the things.
She's your AF gear. Like, that's why
Yeah.
it's good, this expansion.
Yeah.
Like, I'm slowly leveling up each role so that I can do all the role quests. And I got
Mhm.
my Gunbreaker stuff today, and it's such a good outfit. Thanks, Tataru. You're the best.
I I wanted to talk a little bit about the trials, right? Because I think the trials.
Yeah, we didn't even like get into any of the dungeons. or files.
and we should. Overall, the dungeons are really good. I think the dungeon designs are really done really well. I think there could have been some more fun things they could have done to the dungeon. I don't think the dungeons were bad. Don't take that as being bad. I would like to always see more interesting mechanics in dungeons.
Well,
if
because like
possible.
the first one, the Tower of Zot, like
Yeah,
that was like a lot going on in there. So like people thought that they were only gonna like amp up from there, and I feel like they didn't.
they didn't, and it's a kind of a bummer. Not to say that all of them weren't. Like the Garlemald dungeon was pretty good. Like the one in Garlemald with it was
Yeah, like the
fairly
anima fight
solid.
was cool.
The anima fight was cool. It was good to see it as like it felt like a trial fight in a dungeon, which was kind of neat. Like a 4-man. Like if they were ever gonna do 4-man hard mode content, that's a good one to try it on. If they ever wanted to try that out. So yeah, the dungeons were even like the post like Endwalker level 90 dungeons were fairly cool.
Yeah, they're both fun.
Yeah, we got to see Lullaprit 3D printing housing and that going awry.
3D printer gone wrong.
But the very first trial was
What we thought was going to be one of the later ones.
Yeah.
They definitely like
Zodiac.
made us all like confused about like where things were going to go because of how things happened. It's like, wait, we're doing this now, and then we're doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, like, it was like, yeah, it was just like, hey, we're doing this right now, and and then like. It's like, all right, then you didn't know what to expect from there, and then like the next one's like, all right, now you got to kill Heidelin, and they're like, oh, okay, guess.
See, I
Now,
kinda knew that one was
for that
coming up.
trial, did you guys do that with the trust?
Yep.
Yes, and they made it a point to give all the scions like specific things in that dungeon or that trial.
Idiosyncrasies.
Chili says no, he did not do that with the trust.
So
Well,
the
also,
nice
Chili
thing
did
about-
everything on stream with Paul, so I guess they did all the
yeah,
stuff together.
yeah, they did. Chili, if you can, if you can still do that with the trust, go do that with the trust again.
You can. You can
So-
always do them.
Yeah, it's nice that they changed it. So now you can go back and do everything with the trust. You don't have to have it like leveled up. There's like 2 trust options, like the one that you level
Furry
along, and then the
trust
one,
and trust.
yeah.
Because again, there's great lore in that as well.
Well, I think that the really interesting part for me on that was I wanted to do it because I could actually finally play with all of them at once.
Yeah.
But you could do that, and I did that, and I did the fight. It was great. I cleared it first time. There was no problems. And like a day or two later, I did it as part of like a trial roulette, and people
Oof.
had so much trouble with this.
Yeah.
Like
People still have trouble with that now.
they do, and I'm like, it was so easy with the trust.
Yeah.
Well, and even with the 2 EX fights, I feel like that for me that one is
Hmm.
easier than the other one because the Zodiac fight, I
There's a
don't
difference
know.
between them. If they're both mechanically heavy, Zodiac has a lot more unforgiving mechanics.
Like my brain can't figure out that star pattern thing fast enough to know where to stand.
I like Zodiac. I think a little bit more than like Heidelin.
I do like Zodiac fight more because I understand it, and that's the thing is like, as long as one person understands Zodiac and everyone follows them,
And I feel like I'm never
can
going to
do that
understand
fight
that
easy.
Zodiac fight. Like
But
I
with
could go into
Heidelin, everyone has to know.
Heidelin like with randos and be okay. Like I can't go into Zodiac and be okay.
But like
I can only,
Heidelin, you have
be
to
okay
know
with
yourself.
people in voice chat.
Yeah.
If you don't know Heidelin, your group won't clear it.
Yeah.
If you don't know Zodiac, you can follow someone and clear it.
Yeah. That one's just follow the leader, where Heidelin's very much everybody has to know their part, especially come light waves. So, and then the Medion doesn't have a EX version yet. So, but Medion's fight also still very good.
See, I haven't even been back in that one since doing
I
it the first
have.
time.
It's a mess.
I have, but it's still
It was
very
fun.
visually.
I do
it's
need to
very
go in there though
cool.
because I need the triple triad card from that fight, and I've just been like putting it off.
Did you finally get your other one, or did you give up on that?
I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna just get some other triple triad cards. I will go back and beat that damn blue mage thing though someday. I don't know when, but someday because I'm so close. I don't know if anyone has been keeping track, but I am one triple triad card away from getting the Jam on Toast mount for getting the first 300 and some odd cards or whatever.
Yep.
And the only thing that's I did all the other things that you have to do to get all the other cards, and the only thing that is keeping me from getting that mount is the stupid last blue mage masked carnival thing, and I just can't do it. It's too hard. I'm not a good blue mage.
She just overthinks and then dies. I mean, I also want to say that the one thing they did, I think, really well in these fights is like storytelling in the middle of it. Like, I think they really upped their game in that aspect. Like, it wasn't just like go in here and fight the thing and like, all right, we did it, and like, and these weren't. I mean, yes, they were primals for the most part, but they weren't primals. Like, we were still getting yes. Well, Medion wasn't a primal.
Yeah, kind of was.
No, it was just a ball of darkness. And
filled with feelings.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it was a primal. The base level is a primal.
You're telling me all my therapy appointments are just EX trials.
Just feeding a bird girl somewhere at the end of the galaxy.
No, all of your therapy appointments were savage. But anyways,
it's true.
Shout out to therapists.
Yeah.
I'm putting therapy EX on the show title.
I think the Medion fight was really good. Like the concept of all these emotional beings, right? Like all these emotional beings showing that there was the belief of nothing was worth fighting for in the galaxy, and that the only way out was just to end it all. And like they really made it feel like that fight was you were fighting for your planet theoretically, as far as
fighting for the universe.
Yeah.
For every living creature you were fighting for.
Well, yeah, but
the remaining ones.
The remaining ones, and and the idea of also the copies of all the remaining copies of Heidelin, right? Like all the remaining copies of the planets, and something I think that, speaking of moments of levity that are like, we didn't talk about like going back to the first and like talking to everybody and how they were catching up with everybody. Like, it wasn't always, we weren't just saying goodbye or,
Although on a side note, they
to
talked
see the
about it a
band.
little bit on the Warriors of Lust, but everyone was bummed that Reen didn't mention anything about hanging out with Gaia.
That's true.
People
But we
wanted,
did
like,
get
a
to
little
see
catch
what's
up
his
of how they
face?
were doing.
Uno Kalhai and the other kid that's going to go do the try to take the
13th.
darkness from the 13th and with the light from the first to try to help it.
Yeah.
Hey,
that was pretty cool.
Can't wait for that expansion.
You didn't unlock all the characters to see that. That was in Shadowbringers too.
Yeah, I don't think you saw that part of the quest, Peter.
Just
That's
because
another thing. There were so many.
Just because I didn't do a quest doesn't mean I didn't see something.
Well, no, I don't think that was there if you didn't do the like final role quest, mega quest, or whatever.
It might have been in there, but you might not have had a context.
I mean, I had the context.
Oh.
So
I'm sorry, I was about to say something, but yeah. You poof. You didn't wiggle.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, so just don't do anything with your screen. Just leave it right there. Don't touch anything.
Peter, just leave it there.
Yeah, don't touch anything. Don't get out of G pose, or else there's going to be a problem. I mean, we made it almost to the end. I know, I disappeared.
The one that was like very specific about all of us, like always keep wiggling.
I know.
If
I look over and I see that like
if your character instantly just disappears out of G pose, all out.
So like, I know we want to try to wrap up. So I have two other questions. If you don't have anything else to kind of bring up yet.
No, I
mean, we have all the things, so just go for it.
We're doing a second episode next week. We have lore experts Sarah and Anonymous coming. We'll dive definitely deeper into like the story and next week. Like I think this was more of like spoiling and talking about our favorite parts this week, and then getting
like I'm here for like the light fluff stuff, and then you're gonna get into like some deep shit with them.
Yeah. We'll dig in deep.
I'm here to talk about the dreamy boys.
Oh boy! All right.
Well, I mean, maybe that'll come up on next week's episode too. We'll see.
We need the Warriors of Lust back. Okay, so actually, I can't remember my second question, but
what's the first one?
Quick round. In the final zone in Ultimate Duel, when you first enter that zone, music is playing. Once you complete that zone, there is different music playing. Do you prefer the music that before or after?
Well, the music when you get there is like that song, but without words. It's just kind of like a gentle.
Do you prefer it with the lyrics or without the lyrics? Because now it's permanently lyrics.
Yeah. I mean, I like the lyrics, but like, I like a lot of the cool ambient grooves, like the moon music. I love the moon music. Like I used to think that the was it the Amarang music was the best like chill jam, but I think the moon music beats that now.
Oh, the Amaranth music?
No, Amarang.
Amarang when you're out in the desert and stuff there, that like background music that's there, that's like super like pure moods.
Yeah, it is pure moods. Yeah.
Go hang out in Amarang, just listen to music. It's good.
Yeah, Zamfir Master of the Pan Flutes out there hanging out. And
Which on a side note, Peter and I did like a weird deep dive on YouTube one night about
Zamfir, master of the pan flute.
I mean, that guy can play.
He really can. If you want to see a guy that's real good at pan flute.
And now Carter Pan's like, I gotta head out. Bye, guys.
Have a good one, all.
I gotta get out of here.
Zamfir, oh boy.
All right, so Peter, lyrics or no lyrics?
I like the lyrics. I think because. I mean, yes, I am for like ambient, like ambient like tones in an area, but I don't mind the lyrics. I think the lyrics are kind of good. I don't think I spent a lot of time in Ultima Thule, so it doesn't bother me as much. I don't hang out there a whole lot because I got the television now, so I don't need to sit there for 20 minutes and wait for a TV. So
Halo Swan in 20 minutes though.
Yeah. Cheese up.
So I'm okay. Like I'm okay with the lyrics. I think it's a good transition. I think it was a neat. But I also
it was
think
cool
maybe
how it progressed.
Yeah, I think maybe giving people the option, like in like some way of like giving them the option between the both. But I kind of understand why. But how often are you gonna go back out there? So
I really like the lyrics. I know that a lot of people aren't
Really?
a fan of them.
I guess I really haven't heard either way, but I like the lyrics.
But yeah, I like the lyric. Well, it's not so much that they don't like the lyrics; it's just that they don't like the lyrics always being on when you're in that zone.
Oh, I mean, I think it's a nice change because
yeah, I like that.
And not all the zones have lyrics.
No other zone does, I think.
Oh, we got Lahi.
Lahi.
Those aren't really lyrics, though.
What are you talking about?
Those are like vocalizations that happen to be.
I mean,
uh-huh. That's the better one. Come on.
Speaking of that, is it their new follower sound on Generic Live? They have the like all different versions of Lahi when someone follows their channel or subscribes to their channel. It's very good.
Interesting.
You say you have one more question? Did you forget it?
I forgot what it was. I was been trying to think of it, but I can't remember. So if you have something else to close on,
I have one.
Cool. Then let's close on that.
All right. So we asked, what's your favorite, your favorite moment, your.
And what's just on a side note, Quentin, what's going to happen. When Peter says he has one more thing to say, and then it's like a 45-minute thing. So let's see where this goes.
Yeah, buckle in.
Peter's like Columbo.
Yeah,
like just one more thing.
Yeah, but Columbo always solved the case, so it's good.
For all the young whippersnappers out here.
Yeah,
with the topical Columbo references.
Columbo coming back
like
to 2022.
Be more like Nintendo. They only have one more thing. There's never a follow-up, and it always disappoints.
Yeah. Bayonetta 3, not in your life. I just want to know your favorite, like, character moment. Like, your character.
That's easy.
An NPC, Borger. Like... Okay, so Borger. Okay, cool.
Growlha, and then chilling it out and eating the burger, and that was probably my favorite. It was warm, it was wholesome.
It was like your moment. It's a moment of zen, and I dig it.
It was a moment of zen, yeah. In the middle of all hell literally breaking loose.
Susan?
Looking through my notes, I'm thinking. I mean, I think it's my time in Elpis, like going to that dungeon and then that whole series of cutscenes and stuff afterwards. It was so good. Like,
not the frog?
I'm not that into frogs. I mean, it was funny, but the channel. But like, I'm really not that into frogs. I like blobs. I like turtles.
I just remember when we got to that part, and you're like,
Chili
hopped around for a while.
Chili's is post frog check. Can we make this show title, please? I'm not that into frogs.
I'll put it on
still like Therapy X. That's my top
Chili, this show was a lie. I agree, Chili. This news to me.
Have you ever noticed that Mortimer is almost, or the frog is almost like Mortimer?
Yeah, the frog is almost like Mortimer.
It's Blob Check.
Frog Check.
No, blob check.
Blob check.
Blob frog. Blarg.
Blob check?
Blog.
It's
Blog.
flubber.
Blog. Oh, blog
Blog.
frog. Blog.
Blog. It's
Yeah.
it's big,
Frog.
it's heavy, it's wood.
Yeah,
It's blog.
As for me, it's the moment after we say goodbye to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, like all of them, right? And we're outside of the Rising Stones, and we're all talking, like, you know, the core group, you know, Team A.
When we disbanded but didn't really?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it ended on a real like low like I don't know how you guys interpreted like the end, but like it was kind of sad. It's just like, well, we did like the most important thing we could do, so I guess we just have to like break the gang up now and everyone go off and do their own shit.
Well, they didn't.
So, yeah. They basically were like the Scions. Everyone expected the Scions to solve all the problems, so they didn't want people to rely on them. So publicly, they said the Scions are disbanded, no longer exist. Privately, they are still a secret organization that exists, but they're gonna lay low for a while so that like people kind of forget about them and they just kind of drift off into myth.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to be this big mega group that's running. Basically, they are like the shadow government.
The world leaders can like go to them with their problems instead of like dealing with it on their own. Which like I'm doing like I said, I'm doing the role quests, and like so far 2 out of 2 that I've done are like, oh shit, we as leaders, we should have been like more involved with the people and knowing what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I've done I did the range one for Dancer, and now I'm doing the Gunbreaker one, and both of them are like, oh, as a leader, I should have like known what's going on.
Does Gunbreaker take place in Gridania as well? No, it does.
Yeah, it's the one where you were. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's the same. They're always like,
yeah. Connie said it's just like, oh, I guess I should have like known what's going on out here, where like people live out in the sticks.
Like, the healer one is in Alamigo, and similar.
Anyway, my moment before we got sidetracked. The moment was when they asked me, like, what is my plan? Like, what, like, because we knew like they said, hey, we're gonna go back to teach at Baldessian. We're gonna go here and travel.
Yeah, Shoal's gonna write a book.
Yeah, Shoal's gonna go write her memoirs. Alice and Alphino are gonna go hang out in Garlemald. Do whatever.
I actually like found them out in the wild today, which was cool.
Yeah, they're fun.
Everybody's there. Like if they said that where they were going, they're out there roaming around. You can go find.
Yeah, like if you hang out in the right place in Razatan, you see Estinian just kind of skulking around.
Yep, skulking. So with that, it's when they ask me like, "What are your plans?" and I just give a like for my character, it was just like a side grin.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, again, it took me back to that, you know, that moment where, again, I know we hate it, but Xenos asking like it's the next adventure, right? Like the idea of like what am I doing next, and like, and I hope that it's that small moment. I was like, I love this. Like, I love that they asked me what my plans are, and my plans are just to be an adventurer again. And I think that's a great way to end.
My plans are to play Animal Crossing in game.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, like, you know,
Island Adventures.
I like the idea of just saying, "Hey, listen, I know I'm still a Scion, but now I'm just gonna go be an adventurer." Like, I like the concept of like I don't have to be the warrior light. I'm not the warrior light anymore. Like, that's not a thing I am. So I hope in the future we're not referenced as such when we go to new places and we're just adventurers again. Like I mean,
depending on where we go, we might go to a place where no one even knows who the heck we are.
Yeah,
but I don't think that they could just close it up and be like, we're not calling you this anymore. Like, you're always going to have that reputation wherever you go, kind of thing.
But not if we go to places that we're not known, and then we're like, I think that's what the plan
word
is.
Spreads fast still.
No, I think that's the plan. I think the plan going forward is to not be a call us warrior, because Yoshi P has dropped hints of that already, saying like, oh,
maybe not necessarily the warrior of light quote, but I think you'll still be known as the savior of the world kind of thing. Like, you are still going to be an important person, and I think that will always carry. But I don't think it will necessarily carry the weight that it has in the past.
I just want to be normal guy.
Right now, we can literally walk in anywhere and be like, yo, I'm the warrior of light, and everyone just like bows down to you immediately. Like that,
but
I don't think we're gonna see.
I don't want that. I want to go to a new place and be like, you know who this is? I want to be like, I don't know. I just like, I eat. I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like, like I was. That's me, old Jimmy quest giver. So just give me quests, I'll go do it.
I think
go get
like
some bear buttholes.
I don't want to drag this in
Gather
longer, but
some bear buttholes.
I think one of the challenges that they're gonna have going forward now is we did just complete a 10-year epic.
Yeah.
And anything coming after this is going to be relatively disappointing in terms of scale. We cannot pull off a 10-year story at the beginning of the next story. So I think that's going to be something that they're going to have to try to balance. So even if we do go to a new area, like if they start treating us like we did when we were new to the game, like that isn't going to feel right either. We are still this super powerful warrior.
I have a feeling whatever, like they're going to just start sowing the seed, like start like spreading the seeds out for what we're going to do next. I don't think we're going to go to a new area. I think we're going to get a farm, and I think we're going to get
we still have
trials,
stuff.
right? I don't think necessarily we're going to get a whole new zone to start playing in. I don't think that's going to happen until the next expansion, right? But I think they're going to start spreading this. What Chili's right. We'll find out more next Friday.
Yeah.
And then if they're like, hey, we're giving you a whole new, like, we're going to Mirror Citya, then I'm like, oh, well, see you in Mirror
And we'll be
Citya,
able
boys.
to talk about that a little bit on our next show because we're not doing a podcast on Friday next week. We're pushing it to Saturday so that we don't conflict with the live letter.
So that's probably a pretty good segue. If you want to hear more about our Endwalker shenanigans, we'll be live again next Saturday at
12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. GMT. Yeah, when we do a show on a Saturday, we're trying to keep it at the same time so we don't confuse people to too much.
Got it. This will be our second Saturday show, so European folk, you are very much welcome to join us live. However, we will not be streaming on Friday as it is the live letter at the same time as our normal podcast. So tune into the live letter. We won't be reacting to it live. So go ahead, listen to it, find your other favorite streamers, and go check it out. We will, however, be back on Monday and Thursday for our regular gaming streams, which will happen at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, or 2 a.m. GMT.
Peter and I are going to do the Valentines event together on Monday because it's Valentine's Day.
That's true.
We're dorks. So join us for that. I have a Valentine glamour. Peter will just wear the same thing he always wears.
Yeah, it hasn't changed in like 4 years.
Oh.
She loves me for who I am.
No, that's for sure.
Well, that's
and
that's
I know we said it already, but our next episode is going to feature Maelstrom Radio's very own Emmett Selk and Hythlodeus, Anonymous and Sarah. Moose and Squirrel.
You kids Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah, throwing out the typical references on Maelstrom Radio.
Oh boy. But next week's we guarantee that next week's show will be there will be laughs, and then again I can ask again, why is Scythe Man? So we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out this time why is Scythe Man. So don't forget, if we reach 770 followers, there will be Kigurumi stream. Nobody has guessed Quentin's Kigurumi.
Peter has a Snorlax Kigurumi. We do not know what Quentin's Kigurumi is, and I do not own a Kigurumi.
Yeah.
Yet.
Mm-hmm. If I get a Kigurumi, can I be on the Kigurumi stream?
Yes.
Oh.
You just volunteered to be on camera on a stream, so sure.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen often.
No.
So thank you all so much for joining us for this episode of Maelstrom Radio. Again, we appreciate your time and hanging out with us.
We do.
So with that, I would normally always say, hey, we're gonna go raid somebody, but I found out that as far as I still know, you can log into Lost Ark. So we're gonna end the stream. We're gonna stop it. We're gonna take a small break. We're gonna come back, and I'm gonna create my character in Lost. Well, I have a character created on a server. I'm actually gonna create my actual character, not my throwaway character, and pick my class. And Susan and Quentin are just gonna sit here and make fun of me. And so
a little late night extra bonus after show Lost Ark shenanigans.
Yeah,
soon. Sound
good?
Stick around if you want to chat and watch. If not, have a great night. Sleep well. Hydrate.
Sleep, but I have to watch this.
I was gonna go sleep, but I have to watch this.
Sorry,
I'm
Chili.
so sorry, Chili. I mean,
you can
Chili.
watch the VOD tomorrow.
Yeah, this will be recorded and up on Twitch tomorrow.
You could go lay in bed and then fall asleep to my dulcet
fall
tones.
asleep. Yeah.
Fall asleep to the dulcet sounds.
Yeah, I'll talk real smooth. I'll just be like, yeah, hairstyles.
Boy. All right, let's wrap this up.
I am in bed. I don't believe you.
We're gonna have Lost Ark ASMR.
Yep. Well, with that, thank you everybody for joining us. For Quentin and Susan, my name is Peter. Till sea swallows all. Keep listening.
Maelstrom Radio is brought to you by maelstromradio.com and Blackfire Media. Produced by Flatus, Shintir, and Susan Sprinkle. Join us live Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/maelstromradio. Send email to show@maelstromradio.com, tweet us at maelstrom_radio, or join our Discord at maelstromradio.com/discord. Views and opinions expressed by our hosts and guests do not reflect the views and opinions of any companies discussed on today's show.